All right, Leos,
You guys ready?
let's go.
All right. And welcome to another edition of BTR, Behind the Ropes Media. I'm your host, Vince LaSpada, along with my co-hosts, the needs no introduction. Jay, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, man? We got Lio Rush here. It's a pleasure to have you on BTR.
The man of the hour, Mr. Lio Rush. What's going on, man?
What's up? What's going on?
What's good?
Nothing much.
Man, I want to jump right into it, man. Let's talk about your influences growing up. Getting into wrestling. Who influenced you, and who did you follow, and who kind of got you into liking wrestling?
Yeah, I had a lot of. I feel like I had a lot of influences growing up. A lot of people who not only influenced my style of wrestling, but just made me want to become a wrestler. Guys like Eddie Guerrero, Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, to Jerry, all of the people that were like flying around all over the place. And
so you're more cruiserweight, more like high flying.
Yeah. I mean, that's what attracted me, because I was a small kid. I didn't want to be a massive guy. I mean, I liked Undertaker, I liked Kane, I liked Triple H and Goldberg and people like that. But they didn't make me want to be a wrestler. They didn't inspire me to want to become a professional wrestler.
Right. I tell you what. Go ahead.
So, quick question. So, at 5 years old, you wanted to become a wrestler. Who impacted that? Just watching, the Guerreros and the legends just on TV. You're at 5 years old. You're watching wrestling, and at that, as a kid, you thought, hey, maybe I could become a wrestler one day.
I feel like I wanted to be a wrestler more so for the entrances, more than the actual wrestling. I would watch, Jeff Hardy's entrances, and they used to just get me hyped. Him coming out with the glow in the dark face paint and body paint, and like the colorful hair, and everybody like screaming for him in the crowd. So like the entrances were always the most exciting thing for me.
Quick question also too. What was it like a favorite feud that you liked, like Austin McMahon, Bret, and Stone Cold? What was something that you liked growing up?
Oh, the famous triple threat ladder match feud, the Hardys versus Edge and Christian versus the Dudley. That was my feud right there.
All right. And also too, I want to talk about. I know that you're making your return into wrestling, and I was reading yesterday that you're an entry into the New Japan Pro Wrestling Super J Cup. That's pretty exciting.
No, it's huge. It's super exciting. Like you said, it's super exciting. It's something that I've been looking forward to for a very long time. Making my debut for New Japan Pro Wrestling. Not only do I get to be a part of such a historic tournament, but I get to perform in front of an entirely new fan base, people that I haven't wrestled in front of before. So it's pretty exciting.
Well, prior to that, let's get into some of your independent stuff. So 2014 is when you started in the independent scene.
Yeah. I started my training in 2013, and then by the time I had my first show, it was in 2014, late 2014.
Now, was that with CCW?
That was actually with MCW. I believe I didn't get my first opportunity with CCW until late 2015, and I really started to pick up and build some steam in CCW. Early mid 2016.
Now, was there anybody that you wrestled in like Independence or CZW or even I know you did Ring of Honor from 2015 to 2017 that like you've maybe like come full circle into WWE and wrestle? on the independent scene now?
I think a lot of my matches that I had with Shane Strickland, who's now Isaiah Swerve Scott in WWE, that was pretty cool. I think I only had one singles match against Swerve in WWE, and then other times have been tag team matches. But we've always had that chemistry on the independent scene. We've wrestled, dozens of times on the independents. So it was pretty cool to be able to have that history with him, and then kind of meet back up with him in the ring in WWE.
And then how was your time in Ring of Honor? I know Ring of Honor I feel like is just as up there as like New Japan or WWE. Like it's kind of like a stepping stone to get to like the WWE.
Yeah, for sure. My time in Ring of Honor was amazing. I feel like the time period that I was there, that was the most stacked the roster has ever been. And I'm glad that I was able to be a part of a roster like that at the time.
Me and Jay and a couple of buddies, that was our thing going to NXT and watching you, you wrestle with like Drew Gulak and a lot of the other guys, and you cut great promos. But I want to know what's going on. Are you going to get into the acting world? You got some things coming up that you can talk about?
Yeah, for sure. I just got cast to be a part of the Legend of the White Dragon film, which I'm super excited about. If you don't know what that is, it's a new Power Rangers film. That is an origin story based off of the White Ranger. So I'm pretty excited to be a part of that in the first film, and I'm looking forward to hopefully gaining some momentum off of that one and being cast in more movies in the future.
All right, and we know. I want to play a little clip here that I got of you winning the title from Drew Gulak. This is pretty exciting.
Nothing can stop him. He's on the way up. Final hour.
Come on! He's done it!
Lio Rush is the new NXT Cruiserweight Champion.
What take us to that night, man. What was the feeling? I know it was very exciting to see. It was very exciting to see you and Drew Gulak wrestle, because I feel like Drew Gulak doesn't get a lot of credit for his in-ring ability. I think people just goof on him and they look at him as, when he first came in, they made him look like such a goof. And then as he went to NXT, and then he had the title, I felt like people respected him. But take us back to that night, man. I mean, to win your very first title in WWE and NXT, how was the feeling?
It was incredible. I felt like it was not because of my time period in WWE, but just my time period in life, just being a fan. I feel like it was long overdue because I was, practicing and doing flips and wrestling. My sisters, when I was younger, just hoping one day to be a WWE champion, and for that moment to happen while my family was there, it was cool. It was so cool. It was a feeling that I've never felt before, and still to this day still haven't felt. So that was a lifelong dream, and I'm glad that I was able to accomplish that with my time in WWE.
Now I feel like, go ahead.
Lio, I want to that night was unforgettable. We were all there, man. We were all going crazy.
Wow.
Congratulations for that, man. It was an emotional night for even the fans who left that night. We're talking about it all night. They loved it. I think I talked to McFoley after that. McFoley was like, "Wow, that Lio match, tore the roof off." So that was something. But I want to bounce around. Let's talk about your independent circuit days. I just want to talk about your entrances. there's a lot of like emotion and dark side to your entrances, almost warrior like some days. And it almost seemed like however you were, whatever your entrance was, it was accustomed to how you were emotionally involved with the wrestling world that night. Tell us about your entrances in the darkness. Were they from, how what who had an influence on your entrances? How did you go about, this is what I want to do tonight. This is how I want to appear to the audience.
Yeah, I always wanted to uh to stand out in a show, especially with the independent shows not being a big of a production as WWE or any other wrestling organization on TV. I always wanted to do more to kind of make up for the lack of lights and the lack of different cameras and the lack of like pyro and stuff like that. So I always wanted to do something special with my entrances, and whether that was like bringing buddies up of mine from Maryland and having them be a part of my entrance, and just making it a show, making it bigger than what people are used to seeing on independent shows. And I always like tying in specific gear to what the show was called. I remember I did a show for CZW called Sacrifice, and it was for the CZW world title with Joe Gacy. And I had people come out with these flaming torches, and I had them kind of wrapped around the ring post for the entire match. And I thought that was that was cool. That was something different. I wanted to kind of emulate or simulate a Inferno match. So yeah, I just tried to think outside of the box, stand out, be different, and do something that would have people talking for the rest of the night.
I want to talk about titles. I know the door's wide open to maybe later on returning to WWE or going back to Ring of Honor. But what title growing up and to this day would you like to hold? Like, what do you think is in your mind a prestigious title?
Prestigious title. All. And unfortunately, they're not a thing anymore. But the classic, undisputed title, that was always cool to me. In the classic World Heavyweight Championship, just the solid gold. That was always pretty cool. But it was I always liked the mid card titles too. The U.S. title, the Intercontinental Championship. Those titles are always pretty cool to me. So I'm glad that I was able to have that run with Bobby, with him being the IC champion.
I feel like today in the WWE and promotions, I feel like they're going away from some of the classic titles, and they're bringing these goofy looking belts in, like these green and red and yellow, and I feel like, to me, like, they're going away from what wrestling used to be. Like, when I was a kid, Ultimate Warrior holding the orange or the yellow Intercontinental title, or, you know what I mean? Like, those days I feel like are far, far gone, because now I feel like they're making a mockery out of the titles. You know what I mean? Like, they're making them look so modernized. You don't know what an actual title really looks like anymore. I mean, would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that there's I don't necessarily not agree with changing things up, but there's to me there's something missing. I feel like there's a large change with, like you said, like the titles. There's also a large change with the faces that you see on TV on a weekly basis. A lot of these like new shows. There's a lot of new things going on with wrestling, WWE specifically, and I feel like there's a lack of superstardom just because there's so much new. It's just new, and there's not enough focus being put on one thing to make it special. Um, so I just feel like the it's just a little oversaturated right now with everything.
Yeah, and I wanna talk about your matches with Angel Garza, man. Tan, you guys, I think it was either 2 or 3, I forget how many it was, but every time you guys got in a ring, man, it's like you guys were like so in sync with what was going on, and I felt like you and Garza's matches were probably like top notch in NXT to where it was like you didn't want them to end because they were so damn good.
Yeah, Garza is incredible. You know, I mean, I knew of Garza. I didn't see much of his stuff before he got to the WWE, but I mean, I knew that he was talented. I knew that he was really good in the ring, and that he was charismatic. And you know, I definitely found that out. You know, the more I started to wrestle him in NXT, and those are probably, you know, definitely some of my better matches that I've had in NXT.
Yeah, definitely. And then you moved up to Raw when, like we were just talking about a minute ago, you were managing Bobby Lashley. How'd that all come about? I mean, let me ask you, when you got the call up, was your first impression that you know you thought you were going to be on the card, like on like maybe doing like beginning matches and things like that, or did you know that you're going to be like pretty much team with Lashley?
No, so I didn't know until I didn't know that I was going to be teamed with Lashley until I got to Raw that day. And I got called up to Raw maybe like a couple of days beforehand. I remember getting a text and just saying, "Hey, we need your flight info because you're booked for Raw." They didn't tell me what I was doing, but you know, I didn't care. I was just, you know, excited to be a part of Raw, and you know, I obviously knew that I was still going to be a part of 205 too, because nothing was said to me as far as, you know, we're taking you off of 205 Live. And, you know, I think at the time I was in a pretty in-depth storyline. So yeah, I didn't know what was happening until I got there, and Paul Heyman. I remember he was the producer of my segment, my promo segment with the low weights, high reps gym segment that we had going on, and he said that, you know, from this segment on, you know, I'm going to be paired up with Bobby Lashley on Raw.
Now, how is that working with him, man? I mean, I know you just like us. You watch ECW growing up, and then getting to work with the man is just. I mean, I feel like he's such a brilliant man because you know when he started ECW, a lot of people looked at it as a joke because you know they were like, all these guys care about beating each other up and about busting each other open. But then I feel like as Heyman progressed and ECW started to fall apart, I felt like he transitioned into this genius character behind, you know, all these great like Lesnar, and now he's doing with Roman Reigns. Like, what was it like working with a guy that has such a creative mind?
Yeah, I mean, I always thought, and still do, I think he's, you know, just like a wrestling genius. I think he just knows the business inside and out, on the back of his hand with his eyes closed. You know, he just knows everything. He knows what works, he knows what doesn't work. And I thought that it was pretty cool to have somebody like that, you know, in our corner on a weekly basis. You know, there's no way that would have failed. You know, no matter what we did. You know, obviously, a lot of the work put in was, you know, due to me and Bobby, and we were the ones who ultimately had to make that work. But you know, with the help of him and a good friend of mine, Kazim, you know, they helped that entire gimmick so much.
Yeah, and then I was listening to the interview you did with MLW, and I want to talk about your relationship with Vince, because I know you and Vince were kind of close. You guys would have sit down interview or meetings and things like that. Take us through those.
Yeah, those were just in general, those were, you know, pretty incredible. Just being able to talk to Vince every week. There are people in that company that haven't met Vince yet, and they've been there for like a year. So for me to be able to talk to him every week was pretty cool. It showed that he saw potential in what we were doing, and that was his baby right there. That was like his project. It was his idea to pair us up together, and it was his vision. So he did everything that he could to help make it succeed.
Now, are you and Hunter really close in NXT?
No.
As you and Vince?
No. Two completely different relationships that I've had with Vince and that I had with Hunter. We would talk here and there, but we definitely weren't as close as I would have liked to be. But yeah, two completely different relationships.
Vince is more open-minded. Like Vince doesn't mind talking to you, or do you think Hunter was more like he's going to bring you in, he's going to tell you what's going on, and that's it? Like with Vince, you felt like he wanted to actually talk to you about the storyline and what's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, and that was just my relationship with Hunter. I saw him having relationships with other people that were over the moon. You would think that they were his brother or sister. They would talk to each other. So that was just my relationship with him. I think Hunter is awesome. There's a reason why he's in the position that he's in today, and he is arguably one of the best wrestlers or sports entertainers in the world. So yeah.
I also want to talk to you about the Performance Center, man. Me and Jay and a couple other guys we've gotten to go in as fans, but as a wrestling perspective, I mean the feeling to go into a place as the Performance Center to train every day and to get to maybe have special guests that come in. Like I know Razor Ramon came in a couple of times, Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, Taker, Rock. I mean, who was somebody that came in that was a really cool trainer, as you were coming up?
So crazy thing. When all of those people would come in, for whatever reason, I just wasn't in the building. I definitely remember hearing people say, "Oh man, we had Taker come in today, and we had like The Rock come in today, and Big Joe." I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe my class was over. The only person that came in and that worked with me was Paul Heyman, and I think that's what led to me having my Raw debut. Because before my Raw debut, maybe about a month or two earlier, before that, I was having a promo class, and I was working with Paul Heyman. He had came in, and he was working with a lot of the people that were in my class. So, he's the only one that I actually got to work with.
That would seem really exciting to work to just listen to a creative genius on promos. I mean, not only get to work with him on the road with Bobby, but for you to come in, kind of like at the time that was like your home. You know what I mean? Because you lived here, right? When you were in NXT, or you?
Yeah. I was in Orlando. For about 4 years.
So I mean, that's kind of a cool feeling to get up, go to Performance Center, and then find out that one of the most creative geniuses in the business is going to come in and help you with your promos. I mean, I don't know, man. That's pretty damn exciting. I mean, I know The Rock and The Undertaker are really big, but I mean, I mean, to get to really like hunker down for a little bit and actually like pick somebody's brain like that, you know, if
Yeah.
it was a one-on-one experience, that to me, that's more than meeting those guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. It definitely helped me out tremendously. So I'm glad that I was able to have that interaction with him.
Jay, you have any questions for Lio Rush?
Yeah. Now, on the flip side of things, you are a magician, musician. I'm sorry, musician.
I wish I
Now,
was a magician.
you're right. Me too, man. That'd be pretty cool. So talk to us about your music, your song "Lost." All right. So you released your song "Lost" during the time period that we were just recently talking about, your WWE NXT. You released it actually. What was it? 11/11 or I don't
Yeah.
know. I think you released around that time, right? So you released your album, one of your compilations, and your song "Lost," the lyrics behind it. Can you explain to us? You know, it's very deep. It's a very deep song, and I enjoy listening to it while I'm in the car. You know, and it's very lyrical. Can you break down what the meaning behind your lyrics and Lost were? How were you feeling at the time? Did WWE have it play an influence on that song?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely think that entire EP that I put out, 11/11, and Lost was on there, um, as well as a few other songs. I think my position in WWE definitely influenced, a lot of the lyrics, in those songs, specifically "Lost." Um, Yeah, it was just a time period where I felt like, I was stuck. I was doing a lot of things away from my family. I was doing a lot of things that I wasn't, happy with, and me thinking to myself, is it worth it? Uh, you know, uh, I think that it was pretty much self-explanatory. Obviously, I didn't say that that the song was driven by my WWE experience, but I think a lot of people who listened to the song and paid attention to the lyrics could kind of piece that puzzle together.
Tell me about this song here.
Right.
You released this on your page. I want to know. Tell me some about it.
Yeah, we gon' make them feel it. We gon' make them feel it. Rush, rush. We gon' make them feel it. Rush, rush.
Is that something that you're going to use for the ring, or is that something you just created on the side?
No, so that's actually my current entrance song now on the independent scene. Yeah, I thought that it would be cool to have my own entrance song, made by me, sang by me, and yeah, that is definitely something that I'm most likely gonna keep and continue to use.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't know. I found out you were returning to wrestling last week, but before you returned, I want to get into that match with Joey Janela because man, that match right there was fire. And some of the stuff that Joey Janela did with those ladders and just to me, Joey Janela doesn't seem like a high flyer. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like he takes risks, but it's not like you would be like, oh wow, that's what he does. You know what I mean? It's like he pulls out magic tricks out of a hat.
Yeah.
But take us to that last match, man. That was your last match out of wrestling for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Like you said, like Joey, he's a risk taker. That's his style. But Yeah, that match was awesome. Every time that I have a match with Joey, it always delivers. Um, and I'm bound to be jumped on from 20, 30 feet in the air each time. So those matches with Joey that I've had in the past and the previous one was pretty cool. It's pretty special to me. Joey is by far my greatest indie rival, so it was only right that I had that match with him.
So what's your take on AEW right now, knowing that Joey Janela is part of it? Um, is it something that we could maybe see you jump in on AEW, or does it seem like something that you would enjoy doing?
I don't know. I don't know how the company is. I know a lot of people there. I've wrestled a lot of people that are currently a part of the roster right now. Um, would it be cool to wrestle those guys again? Of course. I loved wrestling all of those guys in the past. Um, but I don't know what my future holds. I feel like so much is going on right now, and maybe a few months ago I would have turned down the idea or possibility of showing up there or anywhere else. But you never can say never when it comes to professional wrestling. And I definitely think at some point in my career, hopefully I'll end up landing myself a spot in AEW and everywhere else, just like I landed a spot in Ring of Honor and WWE and in New Japan, MLW. I want to do it all, so hopefully one of these days we can make that happen.
What made you step
I
away?
look forward to that. Yeah.
What made you step away from wrestling for a while? Was there? I mean, I know you wanted to focus on your music career, but um, was there just something that made you just um something you had to step away from at the time?
Yeah, I mean, it was just a lot, being on the road for 3 years straight, nonstop, and dealing with some of the BS that I had to deal with, and not only the BS, but just the whole thing as a whole. It's a grueling schedule, and I just felt like I needed a break. I needed some time to think about what I've done and what I want to do in the future. So I felt like I just needed to step away from it all, and focus on things that didn't have anything to do with wrestling, like my family, like my music, like uh, other things that I wanted to accomplish. So
Well, we're glad you're
So we
back.
know that you right, right. So we know that you stepped away from wrestling and you kind of put your undivided time into your music. And we know that your parents were gospel singers, and that played an influential role on your decision to do music. But tell us about any artists that kind of influenced you to walk that path. Is there anyone that sticks out to you that kind of influenced you to walk that music path?
um, personally, I don't think I can solo out a specific person, but just anybody that's doing something and they're successful at doing it inspires me. If I see somebody else, you know, accomplishing something, they're just showing me that it's doable. That there's somebody else out there that's capable of doing the same thing that they are doing. So, uh, you know, there's so many people in the music industry. I mean, I can't even count. People that are super successful at this, and also just the love that I have for music and all is is you know motivational for me.
Right. And so, some of your music has a lot of pain in it. Can you really, you can like really feel the turmoil. It's really raw and real. Where does that come from? Can you give us, you're in the you're writing, you're doing your thing on your free time. Where does that come from? All the lyrics and the music beats and everything you put behind creating your music.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the things that I come out with, that I release and that I record, all have to do with either personal experiences, or things that I've seen, family members or loved ones, go through. I try not to write in a fictional sense. A lot of the things that I write have some kind of truth to it.
And what artists, do you have like a dream collab artist, someone you look forward to working with, um, you know, in the music industry?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, this might be a far reach, or maybe it's not. But one day I would love to work with Drake. He's been a favorite of mine for years now. So yeah.
Well, I want to. I
That'd be
want
great. You guys are both very passionate.
to. From your music.
Go ahead, you.
I want to talk to you about maybe Josiah from the WWE. I know you guys did a collaboration on a music video that you guys shot, I think at Full Sail. Is that correct?
Yep.
How does he influence you? I mean, I know he's a great. I didn't know of Josiah until going to NXT for a little bit, and then I saw this guy come out and he started hyping the crowd up, and then we started seeing these vignettes of him doing his thing on NXT TV. But what do you take from Josiah? I mean, is he a real passionate rapper? And did you get any good tips or anything from Josiah? And is that somebody that you can probably work with later down the line?
Yeah, I mean, me and Josiah, we've done a few things together so far already. And he is just a very special, individual. I feel like, somebody who's that good at doing what they do is incredible. And I've seen him, write songs in less than 20 minutes about a wrestler. His knowledge on professional wrestling is insane. And just when you think he can't do a better cover of a entrance song, the following week he comes out with an even better one. I feel like he could write a song about anything, and it would be the best song that you've ever heard. So yeah, it's pretty cool to watch him do what he does, and he's such a positive individual. I remember when he had got released along with everybody else during the pandemic and mass release situation. He wasn't afraid. He stayed positive the whole way through. And look at him now. He's back in NXT doing what he loves to do. So yeah.
I saw big things for Josiah when I was there. As the weeks prior, I actually got to talk to Josiah for a little bit, how excited NXT, and just like you said, I mean, when you watch Josiah do his thing on NXT TV and you see him just create these vignettes of songs, he knows what he's doing, and he loves what he does, and he's great at it. And there's nothing else you can say about it. I mean, and I know you, I've listened to some of your stuff, and I can hear the passion in it. And, I see big things for you, Lio. I really do, man. I mean, not even just in the wrestling world, but in the music world. I mean, there's a lot to offer from Lio Rush. And I'm excited about the Super J Cup, man. I really am, because this is a very prestige cup every year that people look forward to. And I know December 12th is the big day. The cup starts. So I want to wish you luck, and I hope I hope we see you back in the NXT ring, man, because you really can show the fans that you're passionate about that. So I appreciate that.
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
And I have one more question, and then I'm gonna throw it over to Jay. Dream match. Anybody, past or present, dead or alive? Who is somebody that you would want to face? Could be anybody.
Yeah, if I had to choose one person, it would definitely be Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, he again, just another one of those special performers and entertainers. I definitely wish that he was still here with all of us, and that match could have happened.
That perfect match.
Nice. The promos you cut as a wrestler are incredible. The Power Ranger movie, is this it's a show? It's a series of shows where you're into shows. Is that what's going on with the because I know a lot of fans are questioning, hey, what exactly is this? I had to look it up, and it was hard for me to find because it shows the 2017 movie. So I'm like, oh wow, Lio Rush is in the Power Rangers. Can we see more acting coming from you in the future? What are they expecting from you? Are they expecting more acting, more wrestling? What can we all expect from you coming in the near future?
Just more and exciting and bigger projects. I don't know what's to come in the future, but I know what I have going on right now, and I have a lot going on right now, and they're all incredible things. So I'm just preparing myself and getting ready for the Super J Cup. Preparing myself for the Legend of the White Dragon film and other major projects that I have going on. So yeah, we'll see what comes from from those in the future. But for right now, we got some pretty good things going on.
Cool, man. Cool.
That's great, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm glad you came on and talk with us, man. And where can we find you at social media wise if somebody wants to look up Lio Rush, wrestling or music or anything like that? Where can we find you?
Yeah, you can follow me on all of my social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, all at the Lionel Green.
All right, man. Well, I want to appreciate you for coming on, man, and good luck for the Super J Cup and whatever else you have going on, man. And happy belated birthday! I know a couple days ago was your birthday, so I hope you had a good one.
Thank you. Yeah, it was awesome.
Happy birthday, Leo. Happy birthday, man.
Thanks.
All right, Leo. From Behind the Ropes Media, this is Lio Rush. Hey, yo, Vince, and I'm your co-host, Jay. Y'all have a blessed night, and happy birthday, Leo, man. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Have a good one.
Okay.